Mm.
All right, we should be live now. I think it says going. Yep, you're live. All right, sweet. All
What's
right.
poppin', guys?
Yep. Welcome everyone. Another somehow we're doing content again.
Oh
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah. Exactly.
I
Welcome
love
to the
content.
stream. We're doing a Springfest discussion. I'm joined here with some of the normal crew. We got Carmen,
What up?
Dean,
hello.
and then we have everyone's favorite Dan.
What's up?
And then we have a special guest today. Some of you might remember him from some older videos. We have Tyler.
Yo.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just start off with really quick rundown. Since Tyler and I teamed up for Springfest, we'll just do a really quick rundown of our run. Unfortunately, like spoiler alert, we didn't top 8. It was a rough time. But we'll go through our matches really quick, I guess, and then go from there. Do you want to start it off, Tyler?
Yeah, so round 1, I was against Mushoku.
Oh, what
It
were you
was
playing though?
Oh yeah, I was on 8-door Fate. Yes, that's it.
But were you in seat A with all
No,
the
I
other
was not in
Mushoku?
seat A.
Oh,
this is
okay.
This is one of the
Aware.
few Mushoku players that was not in seat A.
Okay.
It was a 5-choice 3 pants list, if I remember right. It was either 5 or 6 choice, with the second one being blank. This game was a lot tighter than it should have been. My opponent only fielded one character for like 4 turns and double or triple canceled each turn.
My
So,
favorite.
yeah. Almost went into time, but managed to clutch it out in the end. And this round 1 actually started my series of infractions this game, this
I
tournament.
forgot
Oh,
about
no.
that. Almost like every round, it
Dude,
feels like.
I am like one of the most methodical and diligent players because I'm so afraid of getting infractions, and I got 3 this tournament. And it started with this one. I don't know if like my cards were sticking together or my hands were shaking too much or anything like that, but I went to resolve an Elia Azusa and I flipped 5 cards.
That's
So
yikes.
that got me my first warning of the day.
I think the funny part too was like it really like obviously you should call judge, but also it didn't really matter because you were literally free fresh right after the judge came.
Yeah. Yes. So right after I was using the Azusa just to free fresh, and apparently the 5th card is the one that I actually ended up taking. So that had to get shuffled back in. I got the warning. So I just took a random card that I found out of the other 4, refreshed, and then drew the same card that I would have gotten off of the 5th anyway.
What a good player.
Yes.
So
Powerful.
that's funny, but yeah, deserved that warning. Got the warning.
Yep. All right. So the team we played against was actually June's team, which was surprising. So I'm sure a lot of people know who June is from Southern California.
I recognized June. I didn't recognize the other 2 guys.
The player in seat A was Mike, and then I forgot who was the 3rd seat person. They were really familiar. I probably know them, but I'm dumb. So I actually ended up playing in the B seat against June. The matchup was Kaguya versus Sunshine. I was on Sunshine. I literally should have lost that game 100% because I made a really dumb mistake. I've made this mistake multiple times before when playing against the Kaguya because I don't fucking read cards. I have a bad habit of not reading cards just like Dean and losing games on it when I
Wait,
think I
what?
know the set. So I forgot that the reverser at level 0 is a free runner. I thought it was a run to center. So I made a play assuming it could only run to center. And it made it so I missed my stock soul combo at level 1. I was so confused that I was like, "Wait, is there a red on this card?" I was like,
2014.
"Yeah." I was like,
yeah, Chitoge runner from Nisekoi.
"Yeah." I was so
That's the year
confused
came
by it. Exactly that. Like I was like, "Okay, listen, I totally trust that this is correct, but just to be safe, I'm gonna call a judge to make sure there wasn't an errata because this fucking game has so many erratas." Obviously, I was the moron and I had it incorrect. I just, whatever. It is what it is. I probably would have lost that game if the game was a little bit more normally paced. But the thing about that turn was June was like maybe out at most was 3 climaxes or something. I pushed something like 10 or 11 damage in one turn after he ran away. And if it wasn't for the fact that he ate all that extra damage, That game probably would have been way more of a struggle for me. One thing to note though is that it was pretty fucking funny because I think there was a moment in time where I was attacking in with a 2-card deck, and I had 2 Yos, and he looks at my waiting room because I got done counting my waiting room just to make sure there was still level 3 in my deck, and there was, but he didn't know that and he wasn't sure, so he looked at my waiting room and he assumed I was on 1 healer because before I used to play a lot of the times I would only play with 1 healer, even like a long time ago when I played that deck a lot, because the deck is just basically pure aggro. So he looked at it, and I think he made the decision not to free fresh or something, because he took a minute to make the decision, and then he says, "Okay, yeah, you can go ahead." And then the first attack off of the Yo reveals a level 3, and then he was like, "You fucking play 2 healers," and then he proceeded to eat all the damage. And yeah, I mean, it's fucking Sunshine. Like, it kind of doesn't matter what happens for the most part. If your Yo's hit, and you get to play like the super aggro game because you get hit 3s and stuff. So yeah, but honestly, in reality, I probably should have lost that game, but for whatever reasons, the shuffle of the deck made it so he ate like 10 damage in one turn. He went from like 0-6 to like 2-1 or something like that, or 2-2 off of that one turn. Like I think it was like his I think it was his 3rd turn or 2nd turn into the game, and he was early playing his level 3s, which was pretty funny. That's how you know you're having a really good day. But yeah, and then so Tyler and I won, and so we were able to win our first match of the day. It was kind of exciting because obviously June and Mike and stuff, they're all really good players. So I was like, oh, we got rid of one of like the killers in the room, basically. And unfortunately for them, like, I'm pretty sure because they lost to us and we fucked up later on, that they didn't make top 8 because of us, which sucks.
Because of tiebreakers.
Yeah.
It was a good way to start, though. Nice and hype.
Yeah, it was pretty hype. I was shaking Tyler. I was like, yeah! Because I was like, dude, why do we have to play like such a good team round 1, dude? I'm barely waking up. I'm going to make a mistake, like, assuming this free runner is actually a center runner, but it's not. But yeah, we can go on to round 2. If you go ahead, Tyler.
So round 2, I was against the 4-door 4 pants list of Konosuba. So not the one that's splitting the door and the pants as the top end, just all in on the Aqua Finisher. And I, for the life of me, could not keep more than 4 climaxes in my deck at any given time. I ended up canceling maybe like 3 times that entire game, and yeah, I was just half a level behind the entire game. And at the last point in the game, I triggered 2 climaxes to put me to 1 climax left in deck, and the guy goes with the Aqua Finisher and the burn 4 on attack, dude, and it's just it was too much damage for me to survive. Ended up losing that one.
Yeah, it was rough. For my round 2, it was 8 Standby Bang Dream. I was like dominating that game entirely, but my opponent was really, really good at like triple canceling and double canceling like every turn. My opponent for like 2 or 3 turns in a row were playing was basically playing with like a 2-card hand. It was really bad on their end because I just kept clearing their board and stuff. And then so I was like, okay, I've won this game. This should be fine. And then like randomly at the end, like he got a combo off and like was able to push like his 3-2 support from the back row up and stuff like that off of a standby. I was just able to swing in for like 3-3-3 because I basically crashed my board the turn before. And I can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure I died from like I want to say like high 2s or whatever. And I was just like, early summoning Yos. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I lose this game for like no reason. Also, holy shit, Soy Saucer WS fucking dropping $49.99. You're absolutely crazy. Great to hear your experiences. Wish I went myself. Dude, I don't know. Hopefully you went out to the California one, man. But James, we gotta meet up again sometime and have dinner.
Yo, you come to Houston, James?
You come to Houston, coming out with us.
Houston's fucking stacked.
I think we owe James quite a few beers at this point.
Absolutely. He deserves the whole bar at this point.
Oh my god.
I mean, like we
What a
always say,
champion.
he literally fucking carries the content creators on his back, man. I don't know how he does it. But yeah, our team lost that game, or lost that round, which was like really unfortunate because I didn't like nothing against the players we were playing against, but I didn't really recognize them, so I was just like, oh, they're either like maybe they're local killers or something, but they're at least not like active enough, at least for me, to see them around too often. So did you recognize those players at all, Tyler? I'm not sure if you did.
I did not.
Yeah, I know you took like a year break basically though, so I don't know. Yeah.
It was like 5-6 months, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, round 3.
I try not to underestimate anyone anyway, just because you.
Oh
never
yeah,
know
You
who's
just
like the
you just always want to play properly.
secret dude.
It's Weiss, man. You can't. You got to be on top of your shit. all
Weiss
the
is
time.
terrifying.
Yeah, no one actually fights their opponent; they just fight their deck the entire time anyway. So
Yeah.
all right, you want to take round 3, Tyler?
Yeah. So round 3, I was against Kaguya. That was on the drop search choice, so they were playing the standby door build. So my fate list is pretty tuned to have a really good matchup against anybody playing standby. And this game went very well. Dude had very little hand due to me clearing his board every single turn, even through the standby targets. Unfortunately, a random pocket of variance decided to hit me. So I was at level 2-5, I think, and my opponent is at 3-0. They decide to drop search for their stock swap. I have 7 stock, 2 of which are climaxes, I should add, that I just triggered. My deck is 20 cards and 5 climaxes in it. They stock swap me. And unfortunately, it rips 4 climaxes out of my deck. And I just eat damage to, I think it was at like 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, or 3, 5, one of those two. And it was just so much damage that I couldn't kill them the next turn because I hadn't sculpted for my finisher quite yet. And they just killed me on the swing back with basically vanilla swings just because I ate too much damage the previous turn since the ill-advised sock swap hit 4 climaxes.
Dude, I hate that shit. It sucks. It's
Dude,
like getting...
I feel personally attacked anytime somebody kills me with a bad stock swap.
Yeah, you're like, mathematically, this should be in my favor. This is fucked up.
Yeah, this shouldn't be changing anything. I should be fine here. My opponent just wasted 3 stock. Oh, nope, I'm dead.
Oh, man.
They just know.
Dude, yeah, they went for the Hail Mary. They just, like, fucking... What is it? Their precognition or whatever?
Where at?
All right, so my round 3 was against Bang Dream again, but it was Gold Bar Bag, which I've never seen before. Well, I think I've seen the... Yeah, I think it was the Gold Bar Top End or whatever. Wait, was there even a Gold Bar Top? I can't remember now at this point. I just don't... There's just too many new Bang Dream cards I don't remember. But I know they played the package with the... what's that new band called? With the cotton candy-haired girl?
Raising Sweelin? Or is it no Morphonica, right?
It's Morphonica. Yeah, I think it was
Are you
Morphonica.
talking about the Pareo and Choo Choo package?
Yeah, that package where they summon each other out or something.
That's
Yeah.
the part that matters in Bang Dream.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the other cards don't matter quite
So-
as much.
Yeah. So my opponent, she was able to set up a board like that, and it was kind of like annoying for me to deal with until I was able to get out early plays and stuff like that. My yos were just hitting 3s like nonstop that day. I mean, like it was like as far as revealing yos, I think I was like almost like I think I've only missed like 1 or 2, and the ones I did miss, I knew I was gonna miss no matter what for the entire day. So I'm surprised I lost some of these games, but my opponent was just really good at canceling for some weird reason, and then I was something at like 3-2, and they were like I hit them into level 3. And then they were just able to finish me off with basically swinging in vanillas because I was like at 3-2 or something, and they just like 3-3-3, and I had 4 climaxes left in my deck, and I needed to cancel like twice to live there, and it just didn't work out for me, unfortunately. But really big shout. I wish I had their name. I should ask for their name. But really big shout out to them if they end up listening to this. Thank you so much for returning my deck to the front because
I forgot.
Left
without your
no.
deck.
Apparently it fell out of my bag or something when I was opening it up earlier, and then I zipped it up and it fell out, and then she found it and turned it in, and then she found me later and told me that I dropped my deck. Otherwise I would have never known for a long time. And then but yeah, if you're listening to this, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it because those cards are really expensive.
Yeah, Sunshine's not the deck you want to be losing.
Yeah. And then, so our team lost round 3, unfortunately. Nothing we could really do there. I see here in my notes for round 3, it just says, how do you cancel ? So apparently I didn't cancel at all.
Oh, I see.
All right.
The most relevant note.
Yeah.
How do you
Yes.
cancel?
So that one probably sealed our fate, but on the off chance we decided to keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, it was only a couple more rounds after that. Note 2, our team name was just Cancel Forehead. I'm so upset.
And
oh my god.
We were pretty bad at that day.
Yeah. All right, round 4, Tyler.
So round 4, I was against an interesting variant of book Standby Dal. Can't remember what the choice was from the restriction list, but obviously only playing 2 of the finisher. This game was just an absolute fiesta. At my first turn at level 1, I double combo and I forget to resolve my second combo. I catch it and then I look at my opponent. It's like, so we can just pretend I didn't do it's a mandatory effect, but we can just like say I didn't use it, or we can call Judge. It's like he calls Judge. Probably the correct play to call Judge on that. Judge just rewinds the game state and we resolve it that way. I get another warning for missing the mandatory effect. So there's my second infraction. Later on in the game, he plays a yellow card that costs stock without having yellow. So I call Judge on that. And this is like, I want to say 3 minutes after the Judge resolved my issue. So the Judge was basically watching over our game for the rest of it. So my deck plays out real well. He standbys big stuff, but my stuff gets bigger on offense. So it's always pressuring his hand, pressuring the board, stuff like that. And I end up winning that game, but my last infraction of the day is a caution that I got because my last turn of that game, I go triple Sakura finisher. The first one, I like half shortcut because the climax combo of the Sakura is to blind stock 3, and then it has a separate effect to pay 3 and dish 1 to do an icy tail for 6. So I like half shortcut the first one. I blind stock like onto the middle of my field, and then immediately pay it out and discard for the cost. He sees that, understands it, resolves the effects, so on and so forth. The second combo, I'm like, all right, blind stock 3 and pay it out. So I just like grab 3 off the top and then put them in the waiting room, discard. That's fine. Third combo, rather than shortcutting it either of the 2 ways, I think, oh yeah, he gets the message on how I'm shortcutting this, and I just send the top 3 straight to waiting room, and his hand immediately goes up to call Judge. He's like, he's revealing extra cards with like the Judge standing over his shoulder. So that was real cool. I was told I can't shortcut that, and I received a caution, but the attack ended up killing him. So
yeah, like I saw it go down, and I was really pissed off about it because personally, I don't give a shit about like if you think something's going wrong, you obviously need a third party person, such as the judges and stuff, to come in and resolve and make rulings and stuff like that. I'm totally cool with that. If you fuck up or you shortcut something and someone calls you out on it, then I mean,
the comprehensive rules even say you can
shortcut. I mean, the rules do say you can shortcut now, but I don't know. But, you know, it is what it is. The day of the event, it depends on how the judge rule things. It just sucks. Yeah. It sucks it's that way. I thought like that entire like interaction was the scummiest shit I've ever seen in Weiss, actually, because Tyler made it very clear every time he did the effect. I even heard him say stock charge 3, pay it out, and he like took 3 off the top of his deck, made it clear it was 3, and then put it back down. Like obviously he didn't bring it over to his stock like he should have, like it properly should be doing. And so this is a warning for everyone. If you do an effect like this, you should just literally, if you're going to stock charge and then pay out immediately, you need to at least put it over by your stock, then you can move it over.
Yeah, I increased the shorthand with every.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
But like after the third one, I figured the dude got the message.
Yeah, it was really, I think it was like really scummy because you shortcutted it twice, and it was very clear, in my eyes and stuff too, it was very clear he understood what the fuck was going on. The second he got to 3-6 and it was your last attack to do the effect again, that's when he decided to call a judge on it. So the judge ends up giving you the caution or whatever, right? That's whatever, and you end up winning the game.
It basically means nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It goes away at the end of the round.
Game, so whatever. Don't do what the dude did.
Yeah, if you see someone shortcutting or something, you should call it out immediately or tell them, don't do that, please. I need to see like every action in order how it's supposed to be resolved. Otherwise, I'm going to call judge, or call the judge to say that to your opponent.
Like if you don't understand the shortcut, call the judge. But it was clear this guy understood the shortcut.
Yeah, and just so you know, too, after he got that caution, later on during the day, the judge came over back to Tyler to apologize to him because the judge realized afterwards that that guy actually, the 2 times Tyler did it beforehand, didn't call judge on it. And in the rulebooks, how it's written and how it was supposed to be resolved, because of that, that guy was actually just supposed to get a game loss because he already had a warning for a similar infraction.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so the judge should actually rule, like, that guy calling the judge on Tyler was actually giving himself a game loss technically. Because
That's really funny.
Yeah, which is, I don't know why that guy did that. I mean, I thought about naming his name, but I'm not going to do that because it's kind of
You need the W.
Yeah.
In the X2 bracket, you need the W.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna use the judges or whatever, just do it properly and don't fucking be really scummy about it. Like, I totally understand judges are there to make sure game is resolved correctly. I just don't think if you're gonna use the judges that way, that's really fucked up. Like, as soon as the infraction happens, you should call it the first time you see it, not wait till the 3rd attack and be like, oh, I'm actually gonna die from this attack. Now I'm gonna call a judge to see if I can scum out that free game win. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We won that round because we're the best, even though we didn't top 8. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
So my round was against Gold Bar Choice Quints. Honestly, I don't even know what the hell that deck does. It just did things, and I was like, oh, whatever, I'll play characters and just reveal level 3s. And then
that's the point of that deck. You just play the game, and then each guy blows you up.
Yeah, it was just he just comboed like multiple turns in a row, and then he finally played his level 3 top in. But I was like, I was already like pushing him very fast because of the early plays, so he didn't get like much time to really set up. So when he went into his kill turn, I was still level 2, like high level 2 or something. And even if I ate all 3 attacks with the climax combo, I still wouldn't have lost the game. And even if I canceled those attacks, I still would have lived with being at like 3-6 or something. So I wasn't too worried at all about taking any of that damage that turn. And then after that happened, I just played a bunch of Yos and then killed my opponent because that's how Weiss works, revealing level 3s until your opponent dies. But yeah, so we ended up winning that game. So at that point, we're 2-2. Then the final round of the day was a 5-round tournament because of the number of players there, or the number of teams. Round 5 was a no-show. I think what happened was they lost their last round and forgot to drop. And then we got paired against them, and we just got the free win. So free wins, yay. So at the end of the day, our team record was 3-2. My personal record was 3-2. So Tyler, yours was 3-2 as well, right?
Yeah, mine was 3-2 as well. So.
And then we didn't make the cutoff obviously for top 8 because our tiebreakers were pretty shitty. I think our only really good tiebreaker was probably June. I assume their team also went X2 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the event was pretty fun. Really big shout out to Bushrod in general. Obviously we weren't there for the Vanguard stuff, but the Weiss event ran super smoothly, right, guys?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was real nice. The rounds were nice and snappy.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Something I really appreciated, the website, app, whatever you want to call it, for rounds.
Mhm.
That had a history of like being really laggy. It was nice and smooth this time.
That's good. How many teams were there?
34 teams.
Was it 34?
34
34? Yeah.
I think. What's it called? Do you remember how big Cali was?
I think Cali was almost
64.
double. Yeah.
64.
62, something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
So, I know you two were playing what? Those Sunshine and Fate, right?
Yeah.
Those two decks are probably not like top tier 1, maybe not even tier 2. How did that end up feeling for you?
You can go first,
I,
Alan.
I feel like Fate is very well positioned right now, especially with like with everybody playing Mushoku. Fate has a really good Mushoku matchup.
What does it do in Sumushoku?
So you at every level you're able to scale their board,
Mhm.
and
That's more than enough.
that really is.
How do you scale at 1? Because they typically
Rain gets
sit
huge.
85, and then if they get lucky, they sit 95 plus 2 10Ks or 295s plus a 10K.
Oh, I mean, if their heiresses are sitting at 9-5, your opponent probably got lucky, and that's a downside for you anyway. But just Rin gets large, and then I play 4 total globals. The Clock Punter Sakura as well as the Yamagi are a global 5, and then I have 2 of the level 0 caster to pump another 2k to a Rin. So it's pretty easy to scale at level 1.
Because if I remember correctly, the Rin hits like 65 before climax on the highest power one, or was it 7K?
It'll hit
7K.
8.
Oh, 7K, so it's 8K on climax,
Yeah.
which is under most airs, so you need 1 to 2 more pumps to actually scale a 1-1, right?
Yeah.
But is that even post counter? Because most of the time they'll have the counter due to their airs just being a cigarette.
I don't think I've ever seen a Mushoku player playing a 2k counter.
They do, because they can grab it off the... They
one.
should play like 1, right?
I think
least
most
one.
lists play
It's
1,
usually
sometimes 2.
1
I
to
haven't,
10.
I haven't seen one, but if
Okay.
they have counter, then they have
see.
counter, I guess.
Right, then
But more at level 2, just the 2 different 2-to-1 riders pair really well together against basically every standby deck.
yeah, just
Because you remove their traits, which means it's anywhere from like a minus 2k to a minus 4k on power across the board, and you stun whatever thing they were going to pull up the next turn. Or you can also like stun one of their assists, so their board can't be configured exactly right. And then
We've seen...
What was that?
I was going to say, like, we've seen from Ruby, right, recently? That's like a really strong strategy.
Like stunning, yeah.
Yeah, and the other 2-1 rider that's like 13k on attack, paired with the other Medusa, it's just too large for them to handle. And the rider that gets really big is effectively free since you blind stock after you kill something. And most of Mushoku doesn't have a hand-on core to.
Yeah, so if you crack over it, it's gone.
Yeah, I think
you just have the pay 3s.
Yeah. And then I think also like being able to crack board at 2, especially if they like high roll out like multiple 2/2s and stuff like that, is like pretty devastating to a lot of Mushoku players. I don't think many players are used to like dealing with those situations very well, or at least they don't think about it too often.
Yeah, it's a very similar strategy to what like Dan Machi and Quince do in JP, where it's just make your board huge to scale over the standby stuff, and that's just enough to get there. And then Sakura finisher isn't a great finisher, but it's the best finisher that Fate has access to. The other option is Rider, which if you're spending a bunch of stock at level 2, which I usually end up doing to clear a standby board, you don't have this actual stock for enough riders to matter.
Oh, really quick, I never asked you this, Todd, because I didn't even think about it until recently. But did you ever see our boy Darcy's Fate list that he made with the? I think it was a saber top end. Is that, or am I thinking of something completely different? Do you guys remember?
It's saber top.
Yeah,
it was saber top end. I remember. See,
I think I saw the list.
I don't know if you ever tested that out.
I've never played it, but just reading the profile itself, Ditch 3 is pretty pretty crippling, especially when you don't have any like other tools to
Yeah,
maintain
back
that hand.
whenever JP Fate had just came out, because I all my Fate stuff is in Japanese. Shout out to Dean for letting me borrow all of his Fate stuff. I tested around in JP with the Saber finisher, and 3-hand is just so hard to get.
Like you do a single combo and you call it a day because like Saber plus the climax is already 2 cards. Plus 3 is 5.
God forbid they don't die after you ditch 3 cards.
like-
then you just go into the next turn with 2 cards in
It's
hand.
such a weak effect for ditching 3 because like other cards are like pay 1, ditch 1.
Yeah, I would much rather that card be like
Right.
pay 1, ditch a character.
Because that it's the same effect as Ichika, right? If I remember correctly, it's cancel burn 2 twice.
No, Ichika is a pay 1, ditch a character whenever you play the climax, and then it itself gets on cancel burn 2, burn 2.
Yeah.
The Saber is give anything burn 2 sets of 3.
Oh, okay. It was 3, not 2. Okay.
So the idea is that you have enough stock to give it to the Icy Tail the Icy Tail or the Caster Restander. That way you can potentially get the 3/3 more often. But the issue is the hand.
Absolutely.
All right.
And so, Hololife's not out yet, but have you ever tested into it yet? Either deck?
I have not tested a whole lot against it. No.
No? Okay. Because it's coming out in May 13th.
It's not going to be legal
now?
for Atlanta, and that's the last Springfest I'm attending.
Wait.
Yeah, it's first
Isn't
one.
Atlanta after the 13th? I thought it was late.
No,
May.
I think it's like the second week of May or something, or like the 8th or 9th, right?
Because I don't think it's legal for Jersey because of the time lockout, right? You have
Yeah.
to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
not legal in Atlanta either, right? Is that what you just said, right? Or am I supposed to be buying Hololive
Because
right
when
now?
is Atlanta? Let me check. Because the first Friday of May is the 6th, and it comes out the 13th.
Oh, either way, if the event is in May, then it won't be around. It won't be legal for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right.
They've already got the note on the
Mhm.
organization site that the trial decks and the booster packs are not legal.
Because it will be legal in Houston though, so I'm excited to see where that is.
It'll be legal there, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Kit? How was
I mean,
Sunshine?
It's
How was playing a 2018 deck?
I mean, it's fucking Sunshine. What's there to even say? Like, you play bombs at 1, so if you're playing into standby, they like lose their board unless they can't be reversed by auto effects or something. So you play fine into like Mushoku and things like that. At level 2, you know, you early play Yo and Chica, and those cards are like 10k and 10k and 12k without supports or anything, so that's already like pretty big, so you can usually crack boards that way. And then you usually have the support out, so you got like a lane that's like 13-5 and another lane that's 11-5 before climax and any other like pumps or anything. I don't think there's no real way for Mushoku to remove your Yos off the board, especially you have the back row Kanan to save it if they somehow kill it on the backswing. So you're just like, whatever. You just gotta go off with your Yos over and over again. And
You're telling me you do Sunshine things.
yeah, exactly. You just do Sunshine things and reveal level 3s.
Deal enough damage to kill them.
Reveal enough level 3s to win the game. That's basically the name of the game for that deck still. And it's like, it's just the type of deck where it's all based on like tempo, quote unquote tempo, but
Ooh, the forbidden word.
Forbidden word, exactly. So yeah, I don't think like Sunshine has any horrible matchups. Like, well, I guess it has a really bad matchup into 7 Deadly Sins only because it can't play its game plan, right? Or no, can it? It doesn't shut it off till level 3, right? I forget.
7 Deadly Sins is so bad. You
and
don't
it's
care.
only
I know.
you're in battle with it.
I'm pretty sure you just beat the 7 Deadly Sins player because they're playing 7 Deadly Sins.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is your
unless I
level
get
one
3
combo
of that
two
level
soul?
3 out, you can still put the Yo into a different lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is your level 1 combo a 2 soul?
No, I
Stock Soul.
do Stock Soul level 1 bomb.
Okay.
I mean, 2 Soul is
Because-
always an option too, but I'm like I don't really care much for the 2 Soul.
I think there was more of an argument whenever all these standby decks weren't around, but now that there's so many standby decks, you kind of just want the bomb.
Yeah, it's like breaking board randomly against standby players, and especially if they're bad standby players who aren't used to like losing board randomly, it's just really hard for them to recover. Which I think is really important, especially like going into like Swiss rounds when you're just getting played against.
That's like the one thing with Mushoku, right? Is like they don't have the hand on core. So
yes,
when you do crack them, even at the like loss of losing a lane with a bomb, it's still really impactful.
Yeah,
especially if they're not used to recovering.
Yeah, if you're not used to recovering, it feels like you're 2 turns behind once you lose your board. Because if you're not able to sit on a board at level 1 or so for like at least a turn or two, then I feel like it just gets so hard to sculpt your hand. You have to waste so many resources to like try to dig yourself out of this pit that you didn't realize you didn't realize could happen.
You didn't realize you put yourself in.
Yeah.
And the Ghislaine isn't even particularly big on its own.
Yeah, you need a lot of supports
if
around
you
it.
answer the heiresses, and then they're just left with the Ghislaine is probably going to attack just because it needs to be pushed to the front, and then you kill that.
That card can be get rid of, yeah. Was that all your guys' rounds, or did you guys have more?
I mean, it was basically it. It was only 5 rounds.
We had
rounds.
the last round, so we didn't
rounds.
have anything to cover for that.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
5 rounds.
Yeah.
I think Mushoku's really good. What was it? I think it was like 25%
Yeah.
conversion rate or something.
Yeah, so the stats are it has a 25% representation across all of the Springfests that have happened in top 8. In a format where only 1/3 of the room is allowed to play it, so you can multiply that by 3 if you want a top 8 team's representation rate. 75%. Remember, Kaguya died for this with no topping statistics. Just remember what they took from you.
Couldn't even top it online.
Couldn't even top it.
Kaguya couldn't even do anything in online.
Yeah, couldn't even top when people could stack.
Well, because they were playing other decks.
The stackers are playing different decks.
Fuck, you guys are evil. All right, I don't want to like complain about the ban list, but definitely Kaguya died too early. It needed at least one more season.
I do think it's like ridiculous for them to say, like, there was a thread I saw on Twitter of Connor saying like, what's going on with this, guys? Look at these stats. Like, this is ridiculous. Look at Mushoku. Like, Mushoku wouldn't have had like as like crazy of a breakout like rep rate here if Kaguya was still around and Kaguya was banned unjustly. Was basically like the point of this thread. And the Weiss Schwarz Twitter actually responded, and they basically gave a line of, well, we're watching, blah blah blah, but like,
yeah, the normal PR shit. Yep.
These stats are a little ridiculous, but at the end of the day, if everyone is playing Mushoku and Mushoku is on every team, that makes for a pretty easy meta. So, like, as a competitor, these, like, one deck, quote-unquote, metas make things so much easier. Especially when people are just, like, sleeving up the deck and, like, going and expecting to win games without, like, a lot of practice and reps on that deck. Which makes things really, really easy for you as a competitor. So, it's like, I don't know. It's a gift horse, but I can't help but look it in the mouth, because of what happened to Kaguya. I'm obviously a little biased, but like, because like,
how are your foils doing, by the way?
Oh, they are sitting in my binder where they will forever stay. I'm never selling them.
Understandable.
Do you have a
set two? Set
I
two
don't
save.
think you do.
Copium.
I do actually.
Are you maxing set 2?
I went and got it all.
Oh, you went and got it all.
8 cases of set 2, Carmen?
Oh, if the set 2 comes to EN, yeah, we're gonna max it again.
Good shit. Only for it to get banned again before you use it.
All right. So, Kiryu, why is Mushoku BDIF?
It's not.
I think
Don't listen to Dean.
that it's not.
So, yeah, I mean, when it comes down to Mushoku, it's literally the consistency plus like the random explosive nature of standby. I think
It has twin drive on every card. That's the problem.
It's really weird because I think all the cards separately in their own little vacuum, they're all mediocre as fuck. But then you put all these cards together and they just randomly have such good synergy together to create situations of like explosive boards that shouldn't exist randomly.
Yeah,
I think
Also, just the most modern set that exists in English without Hololive around.
Yeah.
it like Weiss. If you guys don't follow JP at all, and you're more like English only players, it's hard to like understand how, because you see this like crazy jump in power creep with stuff like Mushoku or Hololive, because
Really
you don't see the you don't see how gradually it goes up in JP, where it was like a steady climb, where you have things like, oh, it's Symphogear, okay, 1K1 decks are doing this now, maybe this is okay. Standby decks are doing this now. This is the new power line, and then you get stuff like Mushoku is just like, it has this card that goes to memory for free, double filters you, like goes even but can go +2 on compression, like absolutely ridiculous nutty stuff. And then it also had bonders to it and stuff like that. And then that comes to English, a format that is always perpetually at best 6 months or more behind. It's really jarring, and that's another reason why it just floats to the top by pure like card quality or effect quality. I don't know. It's like because of the power creep curve.
I feel like you're underselling the actual rate of change that's been happening in Japanese recently compared to like,
Japanese.
It's a lot worse than you're trying to say. You're saying it's gradual? I don't think it's really been that gradual.
I think at that time it was gradual. I think the past couple sets have been pretty ridiculous. But like I remember when like around the time where it ended with Symphogear at Worlds or whatever you want to call it, Nationals, I do think it was gradual up to that point. And then Mushoku dodged the ban list, and then immediately went to the top.
No. It started with like what, Dow? From Dow was like a summer of 2020, I think. Right. From that until December was like the gradual power spike, but then over 2021 the power was just completely spiked. Right. Because back then, with Dow, I think decks had a lifespan of 1 to 1.5 years if they're like a top deck. But then after Dow, like these decks were only lasting 6 months, maybe 6 months at the longest, and it was a pretty clear spike after 2020.
Okay,
I can see that. Maybe I just.
I think the problem is like I've always said this about like standby type decks.
Mm-hmm.
The shelf life on a board-based deck is just so much worse than any other deck, right? Because like. If you're able to deal like 8 damage consistently, the next best deck can deal like 9 damage, right? You can still kill people with the 7 damage, but when your card is Lejin, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp, and then they play down Mechanical Chaser, you lost.
That's a deep cut right there.
Yeah, that is a really deep cut.
Oh, yeah. I think the bigger issue is with these standby decks, right? Every time one of them gets really good, they demand an immediate answer.
Because
they
it's
want the meta. That's part of the reason why Mushoku is so one of the top decks.
People call Mushoku the top deck because it sets the new power line. We talked a lot about how like
it has the twin drive.
We're not talking about the power line. I'm just talking about in general. If you can't deal with Mushoku, you lose, right?
That's if you let 8 standby decks run away unanswered and just crash board all game, you will probably lose.
And like part of the reason why Mushoku is one of the best is just solely because it's snowball potential. Like you get a 1/1 Eris at level 1, you win the game more than half the time.
Yeah, the snowball potential is really high.
And then like because you have so much control over the pacing of level 0. Between your snow sprite and your runner, you decide who hits 1 first.
Yeah, you have like all the tools to dictate the flow of the 0 game.
And just because of that, you get that 1/1 out at level 0, then as soon as you hit 1/0, you can push yourself to 1/0 whenever you want. You get that 2/2 out, and then your board is unbreakable. You happen to hit another standby, your opponent just sits there and cries because they can't do anything about 2 9/5s in a.
And you have all the twin drive to help you get there.
You have all these twin drives. You have the 1/1 counter to defend your board as well, because even if they can somehow scale it, because like most level 2 beaters are like 12k. It's like, and then you could always have pay 3 encore, which is I think something people don't use often enough. Pay 3 encore is actually probably
not in standby decks. It's like, especially when you don't have the hand encore, it's invaluable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's like, I mean, then
it feels terrible whenever you do it.
Like Kit was saying, Paul is probably the best card in 8 standby.
Yeah.
Like the Paul just develops your board. It gives you that push in the mid game push if you want. It's forced to mill, right? It's just not forced to pay cost.
Yeah, it's forced to mill, but you don't have to pay the cost. But
Mm-hmm.
the problem with Paul as a card is that, like you just said too, it develops your board, it protects your board, it
Mm-hmm.
has twin drive, so if it lives after that turn it got pushed out,
Mm-hmm.
you get a like high roll into more like free level threes, more free like supports and stuff off of extra standbys, or keep your stock
Mm-hmm.
clean or whatever you need to do. And the whenever you cancel that attack where Paul's in the lane, you can like decide on like, am I gonna push extra damage here now? Well, of course I am. I'm fucking standby. I'm gonna do it. So like,
You have all the resources in the world.
yeah. You get a win board, so you get to clear their board and get extra soul that way. And every time they attack into your Paul, there's a good chance that you get a like attack on their turn as well. So it's like it's just a really powerful card for a standby shell in general.
Mhm. Then that Roxy is also the 3/2 Roxy is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the card that actually pushes standby to like the obnoxious levels of consistency literally is the Roxy package of the event
Yeah,
pendant.
the event.
Yeah, like ever since that pendant came out and we've been having discussions about it over and over again, like the pendant is what makes Mishoku good no matter what. Like
that
it's in
that
every deck.
pendant in Mushoku
Yeah.
is the only card that I actually have like sort of an issue with. Because
yeah.
it
Oh, yeah,
harkens
it's
back to
disgusting.
AOT's move gear. AOT was already AOT's move gear was already like a really good card, and that pendant is very reminiscent of that, but better.
I think like the big thing
Yeah,
about
very similar.
it is like what it felt like in kind of like in the beginning was like really hard to like I guess quantify, because I think we all kind of understood this in the beginning, but we didn't know how powerful it was going to be. Was like the delayed search off of pendant lets you get more game knowledge and decide make better like choices on what you're searching.
Oh, it
Right.
lets you do dumb stuff. Like
Yeah.
I've always been a proponent in my 8 standby list. A lot of 8 standby Mushoku lists just don't play the 3/2 early play Eris.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you not play one? You play this event that pops when you level up. You know if you're gonna be able to early play that card.
Exactly.
You know if you're gonna be able to have a slot on board to play it down. Like that card's an 11k. It pushes an extra burn one. It does everything that you'd want to do in a
And-
deck like that.
Yeah, and not to mention whenever you
You
hit
only
like,
have to play one.
Yeah.
yeah, not to mention whenever you like go from level 1 to level 2 with a pendant in your memory, you can just crack the pendant and go get a tap counter if you really need it.
Exactly. Have you ever had someone search a tap counter mid battle phase when you're forced to kill them from level 2?
I'm pretty sure Kid did that against me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that shit's fucking terrifying.
You're like, well then,
It's just like, I know tap counter went back. They don't have it, and then they pop the event. They have it.
Yeah.
And like sometimes people forget it's you search then ditch, so it doubles as a foolish burial if you don't have a standby target already in your waiting
Absolutely.
room.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the most disgusting part.
So
for,
you don't have a
it's
Paul. All
standby.
right, dump. Let's go get that Paul out.
I feel like at level 2, I'll like pop it. I'll either go get the Eris early play or like a backup or something else for later. And then I will immediately bond it back and foolish my Paul into grave
Mhm.
if I
Yeah.
didn't have it in my clock. Like the consistency it adds is disgusting.
I remember when the set came out and we were all testing like eight standby and stuff like the early days. I remember one of the biggest complaints like that Carmen had, and I had a little bit from playing 8 standby on the side a little bit, was that there's no way to like ditch cards out of your hand, no way to like set up your waiting room. And then once like everyone's like, wait a minute, just fucking throw that Roxy shit in there, it became the most brain dead deck ever. Like
Yeah,
that Roxy fixed
do
all the
what-
issues like
Exactly what
completely.
you have to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the event is probably the strongest card in Mushoku, I think.
Yeah, like
Um,
if they made a ban list for like okay, say they for some reason they decide to go ahead and hit 8 standby going into singles, like the only way they do something is like either they straight up ban pendant or they make a choice list with like pendant and like the 1/1 Eris or something like that, so where you're forced into like if you're going to play standby you can't play pendant basically because that
Mhm.
card is so powerful.
I think
Or they
you
just-
have to go a step further. I think it has to be a 3-choose-1 between Rudyard, Eris 1/1, and the pendant
Yeah.
to actually hit standby, because standby can play without the pendant with the spammable, and
I
it's
mean, even
worse.
then, I don't think it's strong enough. Then
it takes a small hit to consistency.
Not just
But
consistency; it's the sheer amount of resources you have to spend there.
yeah,
Because
you have to
the
spend
pendant
this
is
much
free.
every time. The
It's a
pendant
free
being free,
double,
yeah.
free double
Yeah.
filter and dump. So like having to spammable to fill your grave and then ditch potentially, and it's also just a maybe. Given the spammable does let you fix bad deck states, but you're already playing it anyway. It just feels
Yeah.
like the deck is significantly worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe a 2-choose one is fine. Just pendant 1/1.
Because right now I don't think it's like completely overbearing, at least compared to future sets that are
I
coming.
don't know. We'll have to see after Hololive comes out. The
Hololiv's
second
Go ahead.
the second half of the Springfest results are going to be very different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You will probably see Mushoku, but you will also see Hololive up against it, no matter what version of Hololive that people decide to play. Because there are a bunch of them, and they are all really good. I think the most annoying one when you're thinking about from a meta perspective, I think is Rusia. I think when I sit down to build a deck and think about Rusia, I want to tear my hair out. Like
Unless you're playing Hololive.
building around that deck is incredibly frustrating without a card, like Dan said, like Sheep. I think if you are not playing Hololive yourself and you don't have access to the Watame, playing into Hololive is infuriating, and thinking about how you're going to approach that matchup is really, really annoying. Even if people aren't playing Rusia as the primary deck, the fact that Rusia will be a $50 to $60 deck at most, and people loving Hololive, and it plays a bunch of different girls and a bunch of different girls that are very popular, means that I think people in English are going to gravitate towards that deck.
I look forward to how cheap that deck is going to be.
Oh yeah, that deck's going to be absolute dirt.
Can that deck beat Arisawal?
Yeah, easily.
Are you actually sure about that? Arisawal sits at 17K.
Shut the fuck up, dude. God damn it.
Dean,
Japan was legitimately on Arisawal Bang Dream for the longest time. What do you mean?
Dean. You're telling me you're gonna triple Orisa?
Yes, you do.
First turn
Have you
at
ever
2.
played that deck?
I have 8 pins with 10 events in it right here, right now.
It's insane.
No.
I fucking hate you both. Wait, really quick, is the new Bang Dream stuff coming out where the choice level 1 combo comes out for Hold Happy World?
Yes.
Do you guys know? Okay, that deck's
Isn't that already
I don't
out?
think they announced that.
I don't think they announced it for English yet.
Oh, okay. Because that
It
deck
will.
looks sick. And that level 1 combo looks crazy, but
It is so
Yeah.
cool.
What does it do?
It doesn't die.
It can't die.
But it can die the turn you play it, so it's actually kind of not good.
Yeah. You have so much support for it though.
Yeah, it's actually
haven't played
ridiculous. It like clears boards and it can't be killed. I'm like, okay, what a card. But yeah,
Wall strats are half of Weiss right now. What do you mean?
yeah. That's one thing about like how we're in this weird meta of like there's a lot of like field based decks now, and it's like becoming more of a common thing. I really hate like that type of power creep, because like the only way it gets better is like
I
you
told you,
print
I
500
hate
more
versus
power on
Cannibal
everything.
Chaser.
You know what I hate the most? I hate all the tap, dude. When so much of the meta is Mushoku and Rusia, that much
All the
tap
defensive
counter being
power,
around-
yeah.
Well, not even Rusia. Like any deck can play the Hololive tap counter if it
Yeah.
wants to. Like Mushoku and Hololive being around with like easy, like basically easy free access to tap counter. Like Mushoku can search it off their event, whether they search it on the first one or the second effect of the event. And then if they're playing Rusia, they rip it back every turn. It's a big part of their game plan. Kanatamari can easily play it and get it back if they want to. I don't know specifically if they do. Hololive has a lot of filtering tools to make sure they have it even in other decks if they choose to play it. Like, the amount of tap in the meta is so disgusting. Like, we were talking about, like, Ruby. Like, I went back to the Ruby finisher, not because I like that package. I actually hate it. But I can't play 8-door when Cinder forces me to attack, even though it's, like, on paper, like, better. It doesn't matter.
You're finally
Like,
with me now.
I have to. Well, I have to dodge the tap counter, Dean. I have to dodge the tap counter. I hate the Rize. I hate the Ruby. I hate everything
Rize's
about
good.
it. But
Rize's
dodging tap counter is actually so good in the current meta that I would play that card that I hate just to dodge tap counter.
The Riesling's good. You're high.
You know,
I hate that card.
another deck, that old deck, I think is kind of well positioned right now. Konosuba.
I
Wow.
thought that same thing, and then I went second like 3 games in a row, and I realized how good everyone else's level zeros are compared to you. And you just you lose so much at level 0 if you don't go first.
I think the
Yeah,
GGO's good.
Oh shit, level zeros, but the rest of the deck is actually pretty fine. Like
Level zero is only one turn of the game.
Our local hero, Brandon, who plays Konosuba as his main English deck, has been jamming that into Mushoku, and you can get around it if you are lucky enough, like him, to try Field Megumin every game and have single or double Brainstorm to side over.
You just play what's it called? The bombs.
I mean, like Konosuba. My problem with Konosuba is that it is literally a deck where if you don't hit your level 1 and you can't jerk yourself off all game, you're never gonna get to the end game where you are coin flipping your opponent anyway.
But if
Konosuba doesn't exactly have the best level 1 game versus standby decks either.
It definitely has a good tools against it though.
You have the side attack with the Soul Pump to make sure you push damage while you're
Soul
over
Pump,
stay
Power
around.
Pump. You have the
You
Megumin Bomb.
You don't have Power Pump really
Yes,
in
you do.
English. You don't have that card in English, Dan.
I'm talking about the what's it called? The Darkness.
Oh yeah, that's
Mary
1K.
Knight.
It puts you at 7.5.
Mhm.
That's the oh my god, what's the profile called? The Tap Ricky Takitsubo. Yeah, mind blank there. Yeah, the Takitsubo is a good card. I don't know how many people actually play the 5-door 3 pants list.
I mean, if you're in blue, you could also run.
Much to Kid and I's chagrin, but
And what's it called? The Twin Driver. The Aqua Twin Driver is also a Power Pump. You have a lot of. I mean, the Twin Driver is also good because those.
The problem is what Tyler said though. It's the fucking level 0. Like your best thing at level 0 is that if you play yellow, you play the Darkness 4K.
You drop
which is bigger than
4Ks and
Rudy.
you're good. Yep, it's sick.
Yeah.
You open 2 of those and that Rudy's gone.
Dude, imagine if we had the 3500 drop searcher in English, dude. Konosuba
God.
maybe it would be playable.
My goodness, I wish we had that in
That would
English.
definitely help.
Yeah, that card is so good, especially for that set. It lets you more easily play the best version of the Darkness deck too, if you want to play that. Because I think, I don't know, the version of that just still plays the Fumio Burn 5 and everything is also really disgusting, especially in the standby. Yeah, win choice. Yeah, it's hard to play in English without the drop search because you don't have access to non-worries very easily. So it's always hard to get your endgame pieces when you don't have like a 4 of drop search hanging around.
Yeah, that's the deck I tested with because I figured that the Darkness was just huge enough to scale standby boards and wall
The Push
off.
It 2 is good.
And then you still had stock swap Fumio shenanigans at level 3. But yeah, I just went second 3 games in a row, and I was like, I'm playing a different game here.
Not to jump to something else really quick that we didn't get to touch much on. 8 standby slime. How's that stat wise? I assume it's still a really powerful deck. Really? I'm looking
I think it's literally so much.
Hasn't it?
I see at least 2 of them in top or three of them in top 8 for Chicago.
I helped my friend Donovan help test that a bit, and of course I own the deck and was playing it a little bit. If something like Mushoku gets to level 1 first, you literally can't front attack their cards without losing your entire board, which is really cool.
Big doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and then there's like things like Ruby running around, and where they the stun cards are getting more popular, like Tyler's on Fate,
or even other like Ruby builds that just happen to run the Pyrrha Bomb and they just lose their card.
Yeah, there's just so much that strategy is just so much weaker than the other board base. Like I said, it's literally who gets the better board faster, and Slime is no longer the one.
Yeah, it's because they have a level 1 combo that can't side attack. Like that's literally the problem with the deck. And the 2/2 that they ramp out, if they even choose to play any extra of the normal Milim 2/2 alongside with it, if they're lucky, they get two 2/2s to stick. Maybe one is stunned. The Geld is like small.
But the deck still does have the most like RNG based finisher currently in English, so
Geld
maybe you
also,
can just randomly win.
Geld also folds to the rider that deletes traits.
Yeah, he folds to a lot of stuff.
I think that Geld is like a do I really want to call it this? I feel like Geld is a skill check card. When you play against people who are like more familiar with how the deck works, I feel like the Geld is not nearly as good.
Wait, which card is that?
You mean if they're actually
the
teched
Geld,
out to beat it?
The 2/2. Well, not even if they're teched out to beat it, Dean. I mean, like, literally understanding how the card works and how it can be used. If your opponent's just like, oh, whatever, they save one lane, and then they watch in horror as their opponent pay 3 encores the Geld, and then they have to deal with it again. Like, it's a slight skill check. It's not a hard skill check like something like ReZero, like anti-change counter or anything like that. But it's not like a game-losing thing, but I do think it's a factor. But I think the main factor with Slime versus Mushoku, we're talking about English board-based decks, is that Slime has to play a 1/0 combo. It can't play like a slow build your army level 0, where if they're playing into the Mushoku matchup, things could get really bad for them really quickly, and they just lose.
Yeah. So, Slime, I feel like if anything happens to Mushoku, Slime does have some staying power in English, right? Because I think that's the only board-based deck right now that Slime can't really scale easily.
I think that because Ruby is an English exclusive, you can't deny Ruby's.
Yeah.
Ruby really fucks on 8 standby Slime. Like,
Best
no matter what build, no matter how they're playing it, they're gonna be in red and blue, and they got to fill out that blue somehow.
Please keep telling me how good Ruby is.
I mean, I would never tell you that Ruby's a bad set.
I know, because it's the best set.
I mean, it's probably the best English exclusive they've made so far, like overall as a set. Adventure Time has better standout cards, but like Ruby as a set is far more cohesive and far more of a meta relevant deck, I think.
Pretty cool that we have an English exclusive that's actually meta relevant, though.
That's literally all I hoped for that set. And
Don't worry, 7 Deadly Sins set 2, guys. It's gonna destroy the meta.
Okay. 7 Deadly Sins actually has really good bones. It just has no actual unique standout
no flesh.
shit except for Meliodas, which is an absolute shit card.
Bad.
Like, Meliodas is an absolute piece of shit card. I can't believe like anyone thought handing your opponent any amount of agency was a good idea.
Well, I mean, they do it with the Reagan too, right? It's like been a pretty common thing with those English exclusives. You got the Cardcaptor Soccer's got that as well.
Yeah, that's true.
They were a big fan of those cards that were like, when your opponent plays game.
Yeah, but the problem is opponent playing game is really good when you can't play instants on your opponent's turn. But I don't know. I'm actually very hopeful for 7 Deadly Sins set 2. I think 7. Yeah, somebody said it in chat. 7 Deadly Sins has a great level 0 game. So I mean,
they could also just print an entire deck in the second set.
They could.
They almost.
That's
need
happened
to.
with numerous sets.
They have like. Does anyone here play 7 Deadly Sins other than me? I know Carmen played like a bit of like the build. He doesn't play Hendrickson.
I played Meliodas, and then I quickly realized that I played Door Choice because I think anyone who's playing the cigarettes combo is actually like high.
Yeah, I mean, of course, cigarettes is like kind of shit. Gate pants, door pants,
door bar.
Comeback.
What I settled on.
Whatever you want to call it.
I do not believe in the Hendrickson. I do not believe in
the Hendrickson is so good.
When is
Hendrickson is so good.
Do we have a date?
Words mean anything to me.
So Hendrickson is top check 3 on play, and he has pay 1, ditch 2 on attack.
We do not.
Look at top card of opponent's deck. You either leave it there or put it in grave, and then burn 4. So off of 7 stock, you can triple Hendrickson, and it's like an actual decent top end.
Okay.
compared to everything else in the set, and it's really good actually at sticking quite a bit of damage.
I feel like the bar is just better than that.
No, because the bar's top end is dealing 6 burn ones. Like that's literally you high rolled, you dealt 6 burn ones. Hendrickson, a single burn 4 is literally better than your king on average. A single Hendrickson
Well, but if the
sticking.
king mills clean, you get a second turn. King also heals.
Are you being serious?
I mean, that's the idea.
If I think that's just so much worse than actually having a top end. Like you just like you play the Diane early plays at 2, and you sit there with like looping the level 1 combo. It's kind of like I feel like it's a better Quince because the Ichika can't really kill people from mid 2, while the Hendrickson can.
Feel like
I don't think you sleeve the Hendrickson, have you?
I've.
You haven't. You haven't.
Hendrickson, no.
You haven't. Okay, then yeah, you can't really talk. You literally can't talk.
I've sat across from the Hendrickson quite a few times. I'm not impressed.
Damn, he told you.
Fate Seal 1 burn 4 is not a good top end for pay 1 ditch 2.
You get the scry too. The scry's pretty relevant.
That's what I just said. Fate Seal 1 burn 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right, Dean.
I think Dean just doesn't know what Fate Seal is.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do a money match one day.
We will. I got the deck. It's unstoppable.
It's okay. Dean's so cursed. I'll play anything into that. Anyway.
All right, well, we got another surprise for you guys today.
Oh, no.
We're doing King of the Hill today.
Oh.
I don't believe it.
So today, Tyler, I guess, is also playing in King of the Hill against our previous king from a little while ago. Paru, or also known as Alex. We'll be do the setup kit.
Oh, I didn't set it up. I thought you were going to do it.
I see. Well,
Do you need me to set up right now?
let's go. If you can.
Do I need to mute myself in this call to unmute myself?
Yeah, you will mute yourself in here, and then we'll talk over the Wereby.
Yeah, mute and deafen yourself in here, and then you can just leave. It's up to you.
Yeah, either way.
All right, adios.
Well, you guys set us up.
Wait. We've Tyler, before you go,
yeah.
do you have any shout outs, anything you want to say or whatever shit? So go ahead.
I already shouted out Dean for letting me use his cards at the event.
All right, sounds good then.
I guess I can plug my own YouTube channel since I actually uploaded something today.
I don't believe you. You don't upload shit.
I uploaded something today.
I don't know. I gotta check my subscription feed. I gotta. It needs sources.
Gotta
on
go
that.
to Weiss Schwarz. Improving but staying calm. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Not a big topic, but a topic. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, your stock swap video. I link that to people all the time.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
That's the. I feel like that's the most concise way because people always randy stock swap and say, "But it worked."
Yeah, like my round three opponent.
That's my favorite.
But it
my
works.
favorite is they say, "But it works." You died, and then I go.
I'm dropping this.
That game also spawned my idea of making this keeping calm video because it took a lot to just sit there and take it.
If it works, is it stupid?
Keeping calm is half the battle in a game like this.
All right, if you guys are interested,
Tyler's getting impatient.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, I dropped the link for Tyler's newest video on his channel. Go check it out and give him a follow. I'm sure he will be uploading more. Maybe ? I have no idea what you're doing.
I plan on it. I got a Google Doc of a bunch of ideas.
Cool, awesome.
Hell yeah!
Can't wait to see it. We have a quick question before we hop off here. Oh shit! I need to set up the thing. Who's going to Atlanta? So it's going to be myself, Tyler, and I believe our third is Ellis. Carmen, you can't go. Yeah, Carmen, you can't go because of reasons.
It's just too close because I'm still recovering. I'm supposed to be sore in the hand for up to 2 months. So. I'm just trying to
just get a handler, man, to handle your cards for you. It'd be hilarious.
No, I mean I've been going to locals. It's just
painful.
By the end of locals, it is shuffling does become quite painful. Take care of your hands, everybody. Carpal tunnel's no joke.
Absolutely. All right. All right, I think with that,
We can just
yeah, I'm
do it on
gonna.
here too.
Oh no,
You know?
I'm moving it over to the other live stream. Hold on, I think there's a
Oh,
way I can make it so everyone automatically goes to that one at the end of this stream.
oh, that's cool.
Add
I am gonna run and
redirect.
grab a
Yep, there it
drink.
is. Here it is.
Boom.
Save. All right. So this stream is going to be ending in the next few minutes. Our next live stream will be going up for King of the Hill. So if you guys want to hang around for that, just chill here. It'll automatically redirect you, I believe. I've never done this before, but that's what YouTube says. So you can check out that 2 out of 3 matchup there, Paru versus our boy here, Tyler. I'm rooting for no one there because Weiss sucks. And I think that's it. Anyone else have any last minute shout outs before we end this one and move on to the next one?
Strictly Broken Dan Ranch singles in May.
Ooh.
May 13th.
JP or English, or is it mixed?
English.
English?
Only.
Ooh, that's pretty hype. Oh yeah, I think I saw that advertisement. Yeah.
Yeah, we had it on the Discord and Facebook already. So we Strictly will be shipping out the PR packs for Mushoku. There's more stuff in the works, but don't want to say anything yet because nothing's set in stone. But just look out for future events.
Awesome. All right. I think with that, if no one else has anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
All right. We'll see you guys in. Oh shoot! Did this actually? Oh no. Oh, whatever. I think it ended. Did you already start the uploading, Dan?
Uploading?
Oh, I think I accidentally canceled the stream.
Hold on. I just realized my OBS was gone because I formatted my computer.